Dalavinangu ya dolosana angi totalita kini ana barong ng Bula FM e Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na adang kutevita utunggoy 90 ang totalita ka wali barong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Nadang ko makilesi berkeraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Elong ratu kitchen ko tabo ando talita na barong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, stop politicising rehabilitation process, says government. Prime Minister visits affected areas in Ra. And birthday turns sour due to tropical Cyclone Winston. National Disaster Management Minister Ines Ratu has lashed out to various political parties who he says are trying to politicise the provision of food rations in the aftermath of tropical Cyclone Winston. Ratu made this comment at the DISMAC briefing earlier this afternoon, saying that food rations are distributed according to the number of people affected in villages and settlements. Ratu confirms that over 60,000 evacuees are in evacuation centres all over the country. More urgent rations are needed in the coming days as distribution to the affected areas continue. The Prime Minister Vurengembani Marama highlighted this as he made his rapid ration distribution and personal assessment visits through areas devastated by Cyclone Winston. Farzana Nisha has more.
My house all blown out, nothing left. The roof gone, all the things inside my house all wet, all finished.
Cane farmer Rishiram overwhelmed as he attempts to put together words to describe how Cyclone Winston has shattered his life. Other farmers like Ram have also had their lives devastated as Winston tore through Barotu in Ra over the weekend. The PM visiting the settlement to offer his support.
We will certainly need more. There's no doubt about it. Infrastructure, for instance, as I've mentioned yesterday, what we've put on the ground in the last 30-40 years has disappeared overnight in the last 24 hours or last 48 hours. So we need to have that replaced.
78-year-old Vikram Singh says this is the first time he has seen the Prime Minister of his country help the common people.
None of the Prime Ministers so far have come over. He is the first man who came to see us in times of our sorrow. This is really a good gesture.
Very good. Congratulations.
Award-winning vegetable farmer of 2014, Kamlesh Narayan says he will start all over again.
I'm a heart patient. Through farming, I look after my family. I'm thinking somehow I have to start again because this is life and people will have to work to survive.
Hello. Hi. You schooling?
Yeah.
Where? Barotu?
Penang.
Oh, Penang High School?
Yes.
Oh, what form you in?
Form 4.
And you? Form 6.
The Prime Minister says his government is aware of the Fijian people's need and every effort is being made to cater for everyone affected.
And of course, people need homes, people need food, ration, water. So we'll try and have them sorted out.
A lot of people have lost their belongings and a lot of things have been destroyed, and yet you see the smile on the Fijians here. That's how the Fijians work through their hardships. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
Seeing the terror of Cyclone Winston on his birthday is something Chosepo Ndakuni Sava of Vuna village in Taveuni will never forget. Ndakuni Sava's house was one of the many destroyed by tropical Cyclone Winston. Ali Kimbia has more.
This is Vuna village in Taveuni. People are still trying to pick up the pieces after tropical Cyclone Winston wreaked havoc through the village last Saturday. Amongst those still trying to map out a future is Chosepo Ndakuni Sava. In fact, this week should have been one of celebration as he was to have celebrated his 96th birthday on Wednesday. Now, it's only tears which have replaced all else.
I am 96 today, and this house I built it on my own. And to see it on my birthday in pieces, I really don't know what else to do.
His description about Saturday, a night of terror.
I was staying in my house during the cyclone. When parts of my house got destructed, then I ran to another house near the sea. But when I came into that house, a strong wave burst right into the house. I managed to stay strong. I know my legs are old, but I managed to run up the hill to the church. And when I looked back, my house was gone, and all I could do was cry.
The Kunisawa says all he can think of is what the future holds for the children of Vuna village.
I felt sorry for the children of Vuna. What will happen? And what God decides, we will only listen. But I thank God that no lives was lost during the cyclone.
The Kunisawa's house was one of the 60 houses that were completely destroyed in Vuna. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Survival during Tropical Cyclone Winston became paramount for most as strong winds ripped through the settlements and villages in Rakiraki. Brotu villager Anup Prakash says his entire family had to all fit into the body of a rusted and dysfunctional vehicle for safety on the night of the storm. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Cyclone Winston's aftermath will forever be remembered by the people of Rakiraki, and it was no different for Anup Prakash as he gave it his all to save his family.
That night, about 5 to 6 o'clock, we were inside the house with the family. But suddenly we heard the blowing of the roofs. So we went about 300 or 400 meters away. And we got just a junk car and we got inside to save our life.
Prakash says the dreaded winds and flying debris didn't spare his family.
Myself injured, my wife was also injured, my daughter, she was also injured. And at present, my brother is very badly injured, a diabetic fella. He is now admitted in the CWM hospital. I thought, he is my brother, why not I bring him? Doesn't matter we sleep where, but give them shelter.
The future is grim as the Prakash family say they do not know what will happen next.
Nothing left, so I need help from the government, please.
The Prime Minister yesterday visited the affected areas of Rakiraki and also delivered food ration. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, woman shares how she overcame fear to save her children.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiraki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Silipa from Tagore Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Finding a safe place when Cyclone Winston hit the country on Saturday night was a challenge for single mum Gita Chand of Muniweni in Naitasiri. Chand says taking care of her two children, especially her daughter who has suffered from rheumatic heart disease, was her main priority. Savara Tumboa tells us more.
Braving ferocious winds and torrential rain last Saturday night was not easy in this small corrugated iron house. Gita Chan says she had to fight fear for the sake of her children.
Couldn't do anything that time. So I just tried my best so that I can cover my children with the second shower curtain. So I just covered my children. But when I just saw when the water started to pour inside, then I just put the mattress, collected the mattress and put my children together. When my daughter, she was scared, I just saw her, she was very scared. Her body, her face, both of my children's face went black. Then I said, no, anything can happen, this is the time.
Gita and her husband has separated for nearly 5 years, and she says while her ex-husband and his family stayed not too far away, no one came to help.
My in-laws, they're just staying opposite my house. They were putting the torch on me, on my house, but then they didn't even manage to come down to ask, are you okay? If not, just we are taking the children. But nobody came to take my children away from me. And that's very painful night. That was very painful night for me.
This is the place where Gita and her 2 children were staying during the height of tropical Cyclone Winston on Saturday. All their clothes are all wet and all they need now is food and water. Today, Gita and her 2 children headed back to their home after taking shelter at Moenoweni College for the past 5 days. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama's visit to areas affected in Ra by Tropical Cyclone Winston has seen the people relay firsthand what they went through during the height of the storm. Bainimarama took time out to meet Fijians who were affected and see what carnage was caused by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Kelly Vadala has more.
People fixing the pipe. They fix or no?
Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama meeting the people of Ra yesterday as he continues his tour of affected areas.
Hello, how are you? Where are you schooling? Where? Marotu. What class? Class 4.
Those who have been devastated by the cyclone managed to have the first glimpse of hope through the presence of Bainimarama. Accompanying the PM was ration, which was distributed to the people, which for some is the first sight of food after the cyclone. From young to old, it was a feeling of relief, and PM and his entourage made stops at affected homes and villages. The PM also took time out to lighten the mood of people who for the past 5 days have been thinking of what the future holds. He was later briefed on what the government officials are working on to ensure all affected communities and its people.
Want cutting food for you, eh?
Okay, right.
For many, this was the first smile they managed. But for sure, seeing the leader of the nation pay a visit has given all a ray of hope that all will be okay. Ali Badala, FBC News.
Those people whose homes have been affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston, but their houses were insured, will be compensated. Finance Minister Ayeside Kayum says the government has been assured by the insurance companies that they will cover those clients whose homes have been damaged by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
There seems to be a lot of misinformation that, even if you had cyclone insurance that it won't be covered. That's not true. We've been given the reassurance by the insurance companies that if you have a insurance cover for your home that covers for cyclone, irrespective of the category of the cyclone, you will still be covered as long as, of course, you had the engineer's certificate.
Syed Kayum adds only damages to the home will be catered for, not damages to anything not attached to the house, which includes fences. The Mortibai group of companies today donated food and non-food items worth $50,000 to the National Disaster Management Office to assist the victims of Winston. The donation was received by the Permanent Secretary for Itaukei Affairs, Naipote Katoni Tambua, on behalf of government. Katoni Tambua expressed government's appreciation and gratitude for the timely donation, which would benefit and help rebuild the lives of those affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Airports Fiji Limited has also contributed $250,000 cash to the Prime Minister's National Disaster Relief and Rehabilitation Fund. Executive Chair Faiz Khan says AFL has also waived all air navigational and landing fees and charges for all relief operations over the next few months. Just this week, $120,000 in fees and charges were waived. After the break, helping open for the helpline, opens for those affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान गुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल एग्रेड है गुरबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है गुरबो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A new helpline has been opened to provide psychological support for the people of Fiji. Lifeline Fiji's newly launched national toll-free crisis intervention helpline is a 24-hour service allowing the public to connect with people who will be able to offer them professional help or direct them to an organization that can help. Ellen Stolz has more.
A person's psychological well-being is just as important as being physically healthy and safe. Lifeline Fiji Executive Director Archana Mani says this service not only helps people connect with other service providers, but also gives people an avenue to voice their problems, to reach out and talk to someone.
We've been dealing more with parents in terms of how they could improve their support systems with children. Our interaction with children has been through going into the evacuation centers and really talking to children in terms of how they're feeling. And some of them are in shock in terms of, you know, I had this exam, am I going to be able to do this or not, and things like that. So in terms of direct support, it's not that different in terms of how you would help a child and an adult, but it's really the techniques of communication.
During these times of natural disasters, psychological issues on the ground are of high level of grief and loss, distress and extremely low levels of motivation on moving on. Mani says while there is an emphasis that is put on people who have been impacted by the cyclone directly and who have lost everything, there are also two other groups of people who we need to be mindful of.
The first is, the first-hand responders, people like yourselves, the media, the people from medical background, whoever is going out in the field, government assessment teams, how are they feeling when they come back? There needs to be some sort of support there. But also, I think one of the things we're seeing in social media, but also in our daily interaction, is a lot of Fijians are facing stress just by seeing how much stress and distress, I guess, their fellow Fijians are in.
She stressed that all information and identities of clients are strictly confidential and that people can be rest assured that they are being assisted by trained professionals. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The Australian Royal Navy ship HMS Canberra, stocked with aid, is on its way to Fiji. It left Brisbane last night and is expected to arrive here on Tuesday. The Indian government is providing relief materials including basic food supplies, medicines, tents and kitchen sets. The relief materials are being airlifted from New Delhi and Chennai by an Indian Air Force aircraft C-17 Globemaster. The relief materials are being sent in consultation with officiating Ambassador of India in Suva. Meanwhile, the French military aircraft has been assisting in delivering of rations in the Northern Division. Captain Major Frederick says they are working together with the National Disaster Management Minister.
The program made by DMO today is one rotation from Nursery to La Baza and another one this afternoon to Matei. We have got all freight you carry to the airport are from Red Cross, Fijian Red Cross, or any foreign nation Red Cross.
Other aircrafts from Australia and New Zealand are also helping in relief efforts. Cloudy conditions were experienced over most places today. A trough of low pressure with cloud and showers lies slow moving to the west of Fiji. It is expected to gradually move westwards away from the group. In temperatures, most areas experience cloudy conditions with showers. And tomorrow, it's cloudy periods with some showers over Lao, Lomaiviti, Yasau and Mamanu, the group, the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, afternoon or evening showers. Isolated afternoon or evening thunderstorms are likely. And the outlook for Saturday is for some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And news just to hand, FBC Sports request to inform our viewers that the Super Rugby game scheduled for 6:30 p.m. tonight will not be broadcasted. Again, I'll repeat that. FBC Sports request to inform our viewers that the Super Rugby game scheduled for 6:30 p.m. tonight will not be broadcasted. Pacific Broadcast Corporation Limited, that was supposed to provide the match to FBC, says it will not be able to do so due to technical difficulties and other issues arising in New Zealand. So just a reminder that the Super Rugby game for tonight that was supposed to happen after this will not be broadcasting on FBC TV. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama has visited affected areas in Ra with rations. 96-year-old speaks on effects of tropical Cyclone Winston, and new helpline launched to help affected Fijians. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You can also watch all our delayed news shows on YouTube, FBC TV 2011. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. I'll see you again on Monday. Nisa Modamamba.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.